Peace, y'all. So if you've been tuned in, again, we back at it. Andrew the Spirit, free Espíritu. Um, we talking how to write a book. We talking how to publish a book. Yeah. If you're watching this video, you probably been tapped into the other videos, and this is just a continuation of that. So in this video, I'm gonna be talking about cover, where you can get a cover designed, as well as how I created my cover, and how you can go about that whole process, right? So my book was titled Bozo. I released it in 2019, and I designed my cover myself. I designed the front cover and the back cover myself, as you can see, right? Bozo, got my name in the front, boom, back cover. And don't worry about the barcode and the ISBN. That's placed there for you upon print. So I did it through Kindle Direct Publishing. They put the barcode there, and we're gonna talk about cover formatting and all that. But they'll put that there for you, right? So yeah, for cover you can go. So there's freelance services that you might be using, whether it's for editing your book, formatting your book. But you can also get your cover designed from these resources. So as you can see here, Fiverr is a popular one, and they have freelance graphic designers that can do your cover for you. Like I said, editors, book formatting, 99 Designs. This is a website specifically for designs, with graphic designers that offer their services. So you can get your designs there, and as well as Upwork and freelancer.com. These are other websites you can go to get your cover created for you. Keep in mind, when it comes to budgeting for this process, that's an expense you would have to account for. Like I said, I did it my own way. I created it myself. I was in a university, so my school offered the Adobe services for free, so I created it through Photoshop. And that's kind of how I created my cover, through Photoshop, and that was that whole process. But I had never used Photoshop before. It's my first time using Photoshop, but learning how to do it opened me up to be a graphic designer myself. I'm helping create clothing designs for people now, just because I decided to be stubborn and want to create my cover myself. But for me, I knew nobody else was going to really express my idea better than I was going to express it. So I was like, let me try my hand at this. And it came out pretty good, and I didn't put too much pressure on it. I just had fun with it. Another idea I had was reaching out to a friend that's an artist, and I wanted him to kind of create the design for me. So pretty much what I had in mind was just give him the idea and then see what he did with it. But like I said, I ended up doing it myself. So like I said, for cover you can go to the sites such as the ones mentioned in the previous slide. You can also get a friend or artist to design it. Definitely support your local artists, definitely. But like I said, I use Photoshop, and it is very possible to design the cover yourself, right? So as you can see here, Photoshop, and that one you have to pay. I believe Photoshop is $200, but there are free alternatives. PicArt, Photoscape, Canva I used to create this whole presentation. And I've seen people on YouTube videos say that they created their cover off of Canva, something light and quick, a photo of themselves, and then they just put, box and put their name and the title of the book, right? For me, I wanted an artistic type of cover, so Photoshop helped me. There's also GIMP and PhotoWorks. Some popular ones that I found that are free were Photoscape, GIMP, and PicArt. And you could do your research on these, and you could do anything nowadays on the internet. So I'm sure through these free services, you can get the same result as somebody would get through Photoshop, right? So I still need to do my research on these sites, but it's definitely possible to create it. Something else you can do is draw it and then scan it from a printer to the computer. Literally draw it out. You could color it in, all of that type of stuff, and then just put it in a printer, let it scan, and then it'll upload it to the computer as a file. And that's something very key to use, especially if you're at school and you might not have the Photoshop. You could draw it, and you just want to test out your drawing, or you have an idea of a drawing in your head. Why not test it out? You know what I'm saying? And you can do that for the front and the back cover. Yeah, like I said, if you are in school, some universities offer the Adobe services for students. My school offered it, so I was able to use Photoshop. So yeah, I used Photoshop, and let's see here. Pretty much what I did, my whole process, I wrote out a little design that I wanted for the front cover. I wrote out what I wanted to do. Then I wrote my name out. I wrote the title of the book. And then I wrote what I wanted the back cover to be. So as you can see here, I designed it myself. So for the front, this is the front cover. As you can see here, I took 3 pictures. One of the drawing I did, so this was a drawing. Then I took one of my full name. Then I took one of the title and I put it in Photoshop. So what I did, I colored it in, but this was the original drawing that ended up being the front cover for my book. And I just wrote it in my journal. I just drawed it out. I colored it in later, but initially it was the blank image, right? So that's what I did. I just wrote it out. As you can see, it has the bozo there, right? And then I wrote my name out. And all I did was I got my phone and I took a photo of it with the flash on, and I emailed it to myself, and then I downloaded it onto my computer to then put in Photoshop. And then pretty much after that, I didn't know what I was doing in Photoshop, so I just started messing with color effects, inverted colors, played with saturation. And something that I found unique was that upon taking the photo on my phone, when I used the flash, right, a shadow came out. So when I used the flash, like maybe my hand was covering the like causing a little shadow in the background. So that's why I was able to get this effect here, because the original image had a shadow in it. So what I did, I inverted the colors and then I played with it. I played with, like, I believe the saturation and the brightness, and I was able to get this little redness here. And so right, and like these little inverts and cuts, as you can see here, same in this photo, same little indentations, but that was from a shadow that was in the photo that then went onto the computer that then got edited in Photoshop. So like little things like that added effect to the like final design, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and then so for the back cover, essentially what I did was the same thing. Like I took a photo of a writing that I felt summarized my book in total. So like my thought process was, if I had to explain what my book was about in the most concise way, what would it be? And I went through my journal entries and I found a poem that I felt went great with it. And then so what I did, I drew it, I wrote it down in my journal, and then I drew a circle around it, right? That's why there's this little image here. And then again, I took the photo with the flash, and it ended up creating a shadow effect. So like you see here, it calls shadows, and then I got some dope colors out of it, some amazing colors out of it. And again, just I altered the colors, I inverted the colors, but I also played with the lasso tool. That's something specific in Photoshop. I played with the lasso tool, and I was able to go around this image, and then whatever I pulled out of it, I just moved around, and I had some of the lettering go around. As you can see here, it ended up on the sides, some of the lettering, and even on the front, I got some of the letters to pop out. And you know, I just played with the colors until I got, you know, like how this is red here and this was kind of pink. I got it till I felt it meshed and went good, gelled good together. And yeah, man, like this is a whole art piece. You know, I could sell the book for 50 beans off of the cover alone. You know what I'm saying? But it's $10, you feel me, if you want to buy it personally. And $12 on Amazon, but please buy it personally for me. Yeah, but that's pretty much just for the cover. Completely just DIY, you know, just did it myself. But like I said, an expense you can account for is getting freelance services and getting it done for you by a graphic designer. So like I said, this was the original photo. I just took it, and like you see, is the flash created the shadow here. You can see it's lighter here and a little darker there, so that created the shadow. And here you see the flash created the light here, but then there's the shadow. It's darker in this area, lighter in this area, and then, you know, I was able to get the effects out of it. So like I said, effects use invert colors, some saturation, lasso tool, and that, that was pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, now just like with book formatting, whether your book is 5x8, 6x9, you have to format it a certain way. For your cover, you also have to format it a certain way. So keep in mind that even the cover has to be formatted a certain way depending on the book size you choose, right? So regardless of the site you choose to upload your book, they should offer a template to help size the cover properly. So I know Lulu has some resources available to show you how to fit your cover to their guidelines, as well as Kindle Direct Publishing. They have a book cover creator that can help you upload your image and format it accordingly, and also they have some links on their website for cover formatting. So my cover dimensions, like when you check the file of the photo and you look at get info, it will show that the dimensions were 1563 by 2500, and that's what was accepted by Amazon, because I had to re-upload my cover and re-edit my cover a few times because it was either too big or too small. So that's something to keep in mind. That's something I had to keep in mind. So definitely, especially if you get it done by an outside graphic designer, do back checking on it to see if it, if it fulfills the guidelines offered by the self-publishing company you choose to upload to, right? So, and it is recommended to have a minimum resolution of 300 dpi. I'm not sure what dpi is, but I know through Photoshop I was able to go to like export image, and they have something where you could write 300 as the dpi, as well as the dimensions of the photo, so the by width, length by width of the photo. So that's something to also keep in mind. Make sure you do further research on that, but I believe that's it. That's all I had. Make sure you do further research on that. Have fun with the process. If you feel like you can create the cover yourself, definitely do it. I had never used Photoshop before in my life, and as you can see, this is the most amateur drawing in the history of the earth. So definitely have fun with it. Definitely brainstorm, experiment, go outside your box. I was not like serious with putting my book out at all, because I knew the content was good. I knew whatever I wanted to say was in the writing. I knew I never done this before. I knew that, okay, there's this opportunity for me to do this and for me to be on top of my art. Why not? Let me try. In total, the book publishing process is a rewarding process, very fun process. If you do decide to get somebody, a freelance servicer, to do the work for you, make sure you allocate that and account for that in your budget. But it's definitely possible to do yourself. Self-design cover, self-published book. Why not experiment with that? But it's your path, it's your process, and it's a liberating one. Very much liberating. And have fun with it, y'all. The journey's y'all's. Peace.